All right, and we are back here on the GSMC Football Podcast. And for the second part of the show, we're going to talk about Kirk Cousins signing a 4-year contract with the Atlanta Falcons. We'll also get into some of the other quarterback moves as well. So Kirk Cousins got 4 years, $180 million, with $100 million guaranteed. I know I talked about this yesterday, but I did say how the Vikings, and Kirk Cousins was going to test free agency. And, Kevin O'Connell said he has earned the right to do so. And and also there was a talk that, Kirk Cousins would be willing to move his family down to Atlanta. And that's going to end up being the case. He signs with the Falcons. I did say I thought, he's probably going to go back to, maybe he goes back to Minnesota. They'll work something out. But no, the Falcons, they really wanted him. They got the deal done. $100 million guaranteed. There's a risk here because he is coming off of the Achilles injury. But if he comes back and he rebounds from that, the Falcons have, solid weapons on offense. I don't have to go through it. I failed to mention Algier, their other running back, because you think Bijan Robinson, but Tyler Algier is also, they got a nice 1-2 combination there with those two guys, and then you have Drake London and Kyle Pitts. So I ended up just saying the weapons anyways. But, the Falcons are a team that in 2023 they needed a quarterback, and you had Desmond Ridder, you went to Taylor Heineke, then back to Ridder, then back to Heineke, then back to it was all over the place last year. And if the Falcons had better quarterback play, maybe they end up winning the division. And if Kirk Cousins is healthy, I expect him to put up good numbers. But again, it's coming off of a significant injury. He's getting older. We'll see how he bounces back. This is interesting. It's an interesting spot for him. And listen, I think the Falcons, they might have the best roster in the division. But that just adds another team to it. When you look at the NFC South, you got the Panthers, who are kind of, in the distance, as I still look at them as the fourth best team. Sorry, holding back a sneeze. Again, I always say this. It's going to happen at least once on the show. But anyways, you have the Saints, the Falcons, and the Bucks. Right now, those are the Panthers, again, are unfortunately that last place team. That's something, and we'll talk about them at some point. But it's going to be interesting. The Falcons, they split with both the Saints and the Bucks last year. And now you bring in Kirk Cousins. That kind of changes things, And the Bucks, obviously, they brought back Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans and Antoine Winfield Jr. The Saints, Derek Carr finished the season strong. The division is going to be better, especially, again, if Kirk Cousins is healthy. It's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out. But again, Kirk Cousins is coming off of a major injury, so you have to factor that in. But he could definitely elevate the games of Drake London. Maybe Kyle Pitts finally becomes that player that, many people have been expecting. Because, you had Matt Ryan towards the end of his career. You have, Desmond Ridder and Marcus Mariota and Taylor Heineke. Now you got Kirk Cousins coming in, and we'll see what, how he elevates Kyle Pitts. And Drake London, obviously, is looked at as the number one wide receiver, and we'll see, how him and Kirk Cousins develop a connection. And, you expect more out of Bijan Robinson and Algier. So, it's a good move for the Falcons. They're kind of they're taking a little bit of a risk, but they needed a quarterback, and they went out and got one. So I like the move. Is it a little bit of an overpay? Yeah. Again, he's coming off of a major injury, but it's something they desperately needed. So, but now with that being said, what happens with Justin Fields? Because there were some other quarterback moves as well that were made. So Jacoby Brissett, he ended up going back to the Patriots. He signed a 1-year, $8 million deal. So, listen, if he ends up being like that bridge quarterback, I mean, I think that's a good move. Brissett's really bounced around since his first stint with the Patriots. I mean, he was most recently on the Commanders. He was on the Colts. The Colts traded for him, I believe. He was on the Dolphins. He was on the Browns. Trying to think who else he was on. I said the Commanders. So yeah, he's bounced around. I think there's definitely another team I might be missing, but that was another deal that happened. So again, if he ends up being that bridge quarterback, I mean, I don't think that's bad. I think he's one. I mean, he is right now a backup quarterback. I think he's one of the better backup quarterbacks in the NFL. Yeah, no, I was right. Yeah, Colts, Dolphins, Browns, Commanders. Yeah, that's it. He wasn't on another team. I lied. And then the Raiders, they signed a Gardner Minshew to a 2-year, $25 million contract with $15 million guaranteed. There might be a competition there with him and Aiden O'Connell now. Because I also, apparently, the Raiders, they were looking to, now trade for Justin Fields. And I guess now with Minshew coming in, maybe that ends that whole thing. But we'll see. I mean, they might be looking to draft a quarterback. But, yeah, again, Minshew played well with the Colts. And I think this was a good move for them. I like the direction the Raiders are heading in. Adding pieces on defense. And, well, here's the thing now. Now you lost Josh Jacobs. So that's, that hurts. But, again, Zamir White, he showed some promise when Josh Jacobs was out. So, we'll see what we'll see what the Raiders end up doing. I mean, you probably figure that they're gonna, add another running back. But yeah, I mean, I like the direction that they're going in, and we'll see what they end up doing. Because I mean, I don't think Aiden O'Connell or Gardner Minshew are the long-term answers, but I think that they could at least, you have some depth there if you draft a quarterback, and you can have him sit behind, Gardner Minshew. Because, the Colts, they almost made the playoffs with Gardner Minshew. And now Gardner Minshew steps into a situation where, you got some weapons on the offensive side. I mean, they did lose Josh Jacobs, but again, Zamir White did a nice job filling in when he got hurt. You got Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers. Trey Tucker showed some flashes as well in his rookie season. And, and Michael Mayer, of course, coming off his rookie season. So, they got some talent on the offensive side of the ball. But again, losing Josh Jacobs hurts, so we'll see. And then also, again, where's Justin Fields going to end up? Then you're like, well, the Vikings don't have a quarterback. Well, the Vikings, they ended up signing Sam Darnold to a 1-year, $10 million contract. So right now, I mean, he's in line to be the starter. I mean, they could be looking to bring in more competition. But, okay, so my friend just said also Marcus Mariota signed with the Commanders. So, yeah, quarterbacks are moving around here. Let me just see. Yeah, so Marcus Mariota signed a 1-year, $6 million deal with the Commanders. And then also my friend sent a tweet from Josina Anderson. She said, I'm told the Browns, Titans, and Giants are among new teams that have shown preliminary interest in quarterback Jameis Winston. So that's interesting. So, yeah, we got quarterbacks moving all over the place. And that's some breaking news right there. I mean, it's Marcus Mariota going to the Commanders. That's not really, groundbreaking. But, that's they're just bringing him in, I guess, to be the backup. And, again, got to see what ends up happening with Sam Howell. Sam Howell could be another quarterback that's on the move. But who knows where he's going to end up. But, yeah, so Sam Darnold goes to the Vikings. I mean, right now he's in line to be the starter, depending on what kind of competition they bring in. But, they sign Aaron Jones. And, again, how does this affect Justin Jefferson? Because I know Justin Jefferson, he wanted Kirk Cousins back. Now he's got Sam Darnold. So I don't know if he might want out, but we'll see. I mean, I think Sam Darnold is stepping into a good situation. I mean, now you bring in Aaron Jones to be the running back. Had a great finish to the season, had a great postseason. You got Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, T.J. Hawkinson. I mean, he's got a lot of weapons to throw to. I know he's going from San Francisco where he really didn't play, and they have a lot of weapons there, of course. But now you're stepping into a good situation here, so we'll see, you know, how that all pans out. But yeah, now with Justin Fields, what does that mean for him? Because there's not really a lot of teams out there right now. All the spots are kind of been filled. And, the Bears, what are they going to do? I mean, could that scenario end up happening where they keep Fields and then they end up drafting Caleb Williams? Is that on that might be on the table? So, if that ends up happening, I mean, it's possible because where can he go? I mean, the Commanders maybe. I mean, we'll see. But again, they have Sam Howell, and they got the second pick. So I don't think they're gonna do it. Yeah, I don't know. The Patriots? I think the Patriots are probably gonna draft one. Yeah, I don't know. Also, actually, another quarterback signing. Tyrod Taylor signed with the Jets to be their backup quarterback. So the Jets bring in a legit backup quarterback to back up Aaron Rodgers, which I think is a good move. Tyrod, I thought, did well with the Giants, in his role. Now, again, you're hoping that we don't see that much of Tyrod Taylor because that would mean that Aaron Rodgers got hurt again, which we don't want. And listen, being a New York sports fan, yesterday was rough. Because the Jets lost Bryce Huff to the Eagles and Saquon going to the Eagles as well. And then, on the baseball side, if you're a Yankee fan, which I am, you didn't like what you heard. You're not liking what you're hearing from two of their best players. So, but that's baseball stuff. But yeah, for New York sports, it's been rough recently. But yeah, I mean, the Jets, like I said, they bring in an insurance policy for Aaron Rodgers. Mariota just signed with the Commanders, Sam Darnold to the Vikings. The big move, of course, is Kirk Cousins going to the Falcons. And again, still don't know what's going to happen with Justin Fields. That's right now up in the air. So we'll keep an eye on that. Obviously, things can happen today. Yesterday just was crazy, but we're moving right along here. So with that being said, we are going to, before we take our second break of the show, just want to remind you guys once again to tip or donate and get your comments recognized. Make sure to go to the following link. That is gsmcpodcast.net. Again, that really helps the show, makes the show more interactive between myself, the host, and you guys, the viewers. Again, that is gsmcpodcast.net. And as always, it is displayed on the ticker on the bottom of the show segment down below. So, when we come back from our second break of the show, we'll talk about a pair of wide receivers. We'll talk about T. Higgins requesting a trade from the Bengals, as well as Michael Pittman finalizing a new deal with the Indianapolis Colts. So with that being said, stick around, and we'll be right back here on the GSMC Football Podcast.